Amid a raging war, NATO leaders are gathered in Madrid. Back in 1997 as well, NATO leaders held a summit in Madrid. The 1997 summit kicked off NATO's wave of expansions. 3 new members had joined the alliance. That's Hungary, Poland and the Czech Republic. So the question is, what are the challenges the alliance is battling in the years of Madrid summit? First is NATO's new wave of expansion. The Russian war has rattled Finland and Sweden. They have ditched their neutrality. They now want to join the NATO. There was some opposition to the move by Turkey, but now it looks like the two will soon become members. So let me pull out a map of Europe. The countries marked in yellow are the ones that joined NATO before 1997. This includes the likes of Norway, Germany, Italy, France, Spain and others. But now take a look at the countries marked in orange. These are the countries that joined the military alliance after 1997. It includes several Central and East European states that were once a part of the Soviet Union or under its sphere of influence. 4 of them, which are Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, have borders with Russia. And now, Finland and Sweden are applying to join this military alliance. Basically, the Baltic Sea is now NATO's very own lake. This brings us to challenge number 2. NATO may be expanding, but it also faces a balancing act. The alliance agrees on one fact. It does not want to go to war with Russia. So the biggest issue is, how does it still help Ukraine without getting drawn into the fight itself? The start of that will be by revamping its strategic concept. The concept outlines NATO's main security tasks and challenges, but it has not been revised since the year 2010. The Madrid summit will also lay out a plan on how much NATO can help Ukraine without crossing a red line. But while there is unity, cracks are also emerging in the alliance. This brings us to the third challenge. The NATO is a huge alliance, and obviously there isn't consensus always. Most of these could surface in Madrid. Like recently, Germany has been accused of delaying promised weapon deliveries. Hungary does not want to stop buying Russian oil. Meanwhile, the Baltic states are pushing for a tougher line and more troops at the borders. That is challenge number 4. The Baltics could become a major flashpoint between NATO and Russia. The Baltic states know that too well. Estonia's Prime Minister has even slammed NATO for being not prepared for a cross-border invasion. Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania were once a part of the Soviet Union. Today, they are a part of NATO. Currently, NATO's multinational battle groups are located in these 3 nations. But in case of war, multinational battle groups can do very little. The Baltic leaders know that too well as well. Now they're demanding for a chunk of NATO forces to be positioned there, which brings us to challenge number 5, which are more troops means more money. NATO needs to revamp its defense spending. Currently, NATO nations are required to spend 2% of their annual GDP on defense. But that hardly happens. The United States spends 3.5%, while Germany only spends 1.3%. The average of European members and Canada is also at 1.77% of GDP. NATO's overall budget comes to around $3 billion overall. The US once used to pay over 22% of these running costs. Trump even wanted to withdraw from the alliance because other states were not pulling their weight. Now, the United States pays around 16%. Other member states have increased their spending too. But even then, NATO needs to ramp up its spending if it needs to deploy more troops.